Don't forget to go to ashkicking.com for pound the best home health and beauty fragrance products.
Yo, this is Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation, baby.
So, yeah, man. Hey, Jimmy, well, what's your pick for this weekend? This weekend coming up,
Yeah, why
man?
we got you?
Lomachenko, Rigo.
I think Rigondeaux is gonna beat the brakes off this dude, man.
Okay.
Either Lomachenko is gonna possibly get a decision, or Rigo's gonna beat this dude so bad that he possibly. I can see Rigo making Lomachenko quit. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing with Rigondeaux was knocking dudes out with headgear in the amateurs. There's a lot of video of Rigondeaux knocking people out in the amateurs that we haven't seen before.
I know.
So if you're knocking dudes out in headgear, I mean, he's not necessarily a power puncher, but he's so accurate that if he hits you in the right spot in that ring, you're gonna either go to sleep or you're gonna quit in that corner, man. So I think Rigondeaux is gonna put on the clinic with Lomachenko, because he can cut off angles, he can use angles, and he's got hella defense. So I can see Rigondeaux beating the brakes off of Lomo.
And he is a power puncher. Because when you breaking jaws with one single punch, that's impressive. I mean, look at all the fights we watch. Yeah. How often do we see that? I mean, this man breaking jaws with one single punch. He don't have to hit you with an accumulation of shots, which sometimes, like Ali, for example, got his jaw broken. I mean, and that's against a heavyweight. We talking about one shot from a dude weighing a buck and some corn nuts. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, come on, man.
He weighed $1.25, man. He's breaking eye sockets.
That's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
He's precise.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he can hurt you.
That one he hit Donaire with. He hit Donaire, man.
Oh man, and stop Donaire in his tracks right away. You want to be a good actor.
It's about as big as Loma was.
I think bigger.
He may have been.
Donaire was bigger than Loma. Donaire was bigger than Loma, man. Donaire was one of them type of fighters that really blows up. Really rehydrates. So I don't think Loma is like that. I
don't think so either. And they have the rehydration limit of a 138.
Which Loma didn't even, he didn't hesitate to sign and agree on,
I just wonder why they didn't fight it a catch. He said, Rigo said that they tried to get a catch.
And Rigo said that when he wanted it at a catch weight, or when it was at 126, he said Loma didn't want the fight at all.
Right.
He said Loma didn't want the fight at all. And it was funny because I did a video on that a couple days ago where I reported that Rigo said just that Loma would not fight him at all in 126. And then what's his name, Loma, he countered by saying that's some BS, because there's an interview where Rigo was saying, don't ask me no questions about Loma, because he doesn't fight at 122. And it was crazy because then I went back to one of my old interviews, where he was actually, Rigo, he was saying a long time ago, he was like, well, we could have had the fight at 126, but he keeps moving up.
Right.
He said, why does he keep moving up?
I remember that.
He said, if he wants to fight, why does he keep moving up to higher weight classes? Mm-hmm. That was a long time ago that he said that.
Yep.
So once
you was talking to him about being funny with the money. I got a question for the panel. Does Rigo have to score a knockout in order to win this fight, or can he win a decision?
Good question.
Can he win a decision?
Nope.
Nope. Just that simple.
I don't think that he can win the decision.
You don't think y'all don't think they'll give it to him, or
they don't want him to win. With how long it took this fight to come to fruition, and what the hurdles they've been making him jump through to even get this fight going on. They don't want that man to win.
No.
He has to knock this guy out.
I know they don't want him to win, man. I know they don't. I mean, like I was telling Dante before we came in, we was in pre-production. I'm listening to Errol Spence on Sway in the Morning, a month, or so, a month and a half out from his fight. And it's like they already doing promo, they already taking photos, the face-offs. I haven't seen any promotion for this fight. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen anything for this fight. I'm like, why are they not a fight of this magnitude, two gold medalists, two-time Olympic gold medalists, exceptionally skilled fighters. How is it you're not hyping this fight up? I haven't seen one commercial on ESPN, and it's an ESPN fight. I'm just not figuring this out. I can't understand the reasoning why they would not try to promote this fight heavily. And I mean, if only thing we could come up with is if Loma loses this fight, I mean, they want this to kind of be like hidden. They don't want everybody to know about it. You know what I mean? They're kind of keeping it in the shadows a little bit.
Let me say this, and let me say this. I remember when Barack Obama, when he first got elected as president, there was a city in Texas, and the paper didn't report the news at all. and it made headlines. It made national headlines because they didn't report it.
Okay, because they didn't report it.
And they simply responded. They said, over here we report big news. We report big stuff.
Right.
Out here. Right. So, but they don't report the first black president being elected. So I mean, it's kind of like this situation right here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they're looking at this like, yeah, we don't want to acknowledge this because even though it's a 50-50 fight, and like I said, I would not be, like I told Money before we started, I wouldn't be surprised if Lomachenko wins the fight.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
It's a 50-50 fight. Just like the War-Kovalev rematch was a 50-50 fight, you know? But that's a little bit different because Andre Ward probably had more of an advantage in adjusting, but still, it's a 50-50 fight.
It is.
So with that all being said, a lot of fans, they looking at this like the Floyd Mayweather-Manny Pacquiao situation. Before Floyd signed the contract, they kept saying, Floyd, you scared? Fight Pacquiao, fight Pacquiao. I remember, man, when that fight first got announced, all them fans that used to fill up the comment section, all them fans that used to run up to me on the streets and everything, when he gonna fight Pacquiao? They all went completely silent the day the fight was announced. It was like they just found out about a funeral they had to go to.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Sometimes sometimes
nobody was in the comment section. None of them was in the comment section.
Arguing about the thing becomes the thing. When you don't have that thing to argue about anymore, you ain't got nothing to talk about. You know what I mean? And now, like, okay, they called your bluff. Now what you gonna do? They just sit there and shut up. Just be quiet.
Just be quiet. Just be quiet. And once again, they're looking at, the truth of the matter is, the decafs in the old media, they're looking at Rigo as the biggest threat for Lomachenko.
Right.
And they like, God damn it, they was hoping it didn't happen. Just like, once again, I reminisce, I think about when Larry Merchant was still calling fights. At the time that Rigo was aggressively calling out Donaire, I remember Rigo's name being mentioned. Larry almost went as red as a tomato on steroids, boy. That boy, he said, hey, no one wants to see that fight. He said, no one wants to see Rigo against Abner Mares. This is when Abner Mares was undefeated too.
Right.
He got so upset that they even, mentioned Rigo possibly fighting one of them.
Rigo couldn't get a fight, man. Rigo couldn't get a big fight at 122, man. And this is one of the reasons why. It's like, hey, man, he's letting time pass him by. He needs that big signature fight. He wants something, a career-defining fight. And like you said, this fight is 50-50. For all those people who think that we're not giving Lomo enough press or enough credit, Lomo is an exceptionally skilled fighter, man. His footwork is amazing. His hand speed is amazing. The cat can straight up fight. He's a pound-for-pound top 10, definitely pound-for-pound fighter. I have him in top 5, but I don't have him 1 or 2. Like some outlets, but he's a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter, and I think Rigo is too. It pisses me off when they don't put Rigo in there in that same category.
I agree.
I
agree.
No doubt about it. I mean, once again,
shame.
Me too. I
it's a damn shame.
Yeah. It's almost like college football. You have that one-loss team versus the zero-loss team.
Right.
But the one-loss team is in, but the zero-loss team is not. And you're trying to figure out how is that,
right?
In a sense.
And they have similar resumes and everything.
Like that. Resumes are almost the same. It's like, how is that possible?
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, man, there was someone in the comment section.
One team is darker than the other, though. So that's
that's a.
We didn't want to state the obvious.
That's a huge.
We didn't want to state the obvious.
And speaking of that, Kirk, somebody in the comment, it was a decaf in the comment section. Once again, he said, why does race have to be brought up? You know what's funny about decaf saying stuff like this? Every time when they see them racist comments in the comment section that's brought up for no reason at all, just a racist comment,
right?
You notice they never respond to that person and say, hey, man, why does race have to be brought up? Why can't you just keep it boxing? Now, when it's something bad said about a black person directed to them, then all of a sudden,
keep it going.
Now they don't care.
Keep it going.
It's good. But when someone is exposing racism, now you're like, hey, man, I don't want to hear that kind of stuff.
I know,
right?
Man.
Like I remember the Cheerios commercial. They make a Cheerios commercial that's an interracial commercial. Who complained about that commercial? It was racist people that complained about that commercial, right?
Right.
Now, nobody brought up race, but that's the main thing that's on your mind.
Exactly.
And decafs like this one in the comment section, he didn't care about the people complaining about that.
No.
Once again, you don't complain about the person committing the crime. You complain about the person calling the cops on the person committing the crime, right? What kind of neighbor? Hey, seriously, Mill, what kind of neighbor are you? We got neighborhood watch in the hood, right? We live in a beautiful neighborhood, right? We all show up at the meetings. You mad that we having meetings and somebody stand up like, yeah, man, I think this car right here is suspicious. You pissed off at that, but you didn't have no problem with the dude that was breaking in the houses and everything.
Right?
So what does that say about you? You one of the criminals. You know what I mean? So
aiding and abetting,
you conspiring,
aiding and abetting. It's collusion.
It's collusion.
It's collusion, baby.
Yeah, man. We know what time it is at the end of the day, man.
Right.
And there's nothing but facts that we hit you with over here. That's why they don't call in. Like I said, I want this decaf to call in. Go ahead and call in. Matter of fact, you just put your area code in the comment section, and we'll make you priority. We'll go ahead and take your call. All right. So, but they ain't gonna do it though. They ain't gonna do it though. It's a lot safer to just post it in the comment section.
Jimmy J.
This is Bobby, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.